Hey, just thought I'd do a short video on some of the tools that I've been using lately for stripping the bark off my walking sticks and so on. I got a fair bit of them over there in the corner that I'll show you here in a couple of minutes. These were all gathered during the month of April of 2011, and I'm just in the process of debarking some of them and letting them season there, and then we'll go back to carving them up and making some decent walking sticks and so on. So anyway, back to this tools. This is nothing really special, but it's a great little knife. It's a Frost's Mora with a birch handle. They're about I don't know, about 15 bucks. I don't think the camera will really pick this up all that well, but it's actually there's a laminated portion of hardened carbon steel on the end of this one, and then it's a softer steel past it here, past the laminate, and it's a great carving knife. I picked this one up at Lee Valley Tools up here in Canada, in Coquitlam. It's got a birch handle, really kind of nice. I just put some boiled linseed oil and mineral spirit mix there, 50-50 on it, just kind of finish it off, and I also put a little grip tape on because it is a little bit slippery. But it's a great knife. That's what I use primarily for debarking the sticks. And I've got another Mora actually coming as well, a fixed blade with more of a rubberized handle that I bought off eBay here shortly, and it should be arriving fairly soon, and we're looking forward to using that as well. They make good, inexpensive knives. This thing here I saw in the wood carvings forum. A fellow was using one of these. I'm going to try it. This is a nice little tool sometimes for stripping the bark off. If you want the outer layer stripped off and not the under layer, let's say, for a little different in color tone, I've noticed this works quite well. Easy to sharpen and a decent little scraper. So, and this is just the sheath that the Frost's Mora knife goes into and so on. I take this one out with me when I go out looking for sticks as well. Sometimes I'll just strip the bark right off out there in the woods and so on. So just a simple little sheath. This I made, it's a leather strop, just made it from an old belt and a piece of oak. Put a little of that cupboard liner in there for to reduce slippage, and that's what I'll use to strop the knife on and so on. Just go back and forth. Puts a nice edge on the laminated steel there and so on. So anyway, let's go over here. We'll take a look at these sticks I've got here. I've got quite a collection of them here. Anyway, some of them I've stripped the bark off, and some of them I haven't. There's some different shapes and sizes here, and of course some different woods. I've got some alder, some maple, some birch, some cottonwood here as well, and probably a few I'm going to have to figure out, get some help on identifying. But anyway, there's some nice root curved sticks here as well. They're growing underground. So on. They'll make nice canes once I get them all finished and so on. But they got a nice natural bend to them. Here's another one as well. There's a few decent shaped sticks in here. I usually put the month in the year when I harvested them, brought them back, and that way I can, I know when a year is up, and then I can start shaping them the way I want and so on. So there's a few kind of cool shapes. There's an interesting shape there. Probably make a decent little walking stick of some sort. They're all probably about 4 or 5 feet in length. I always cut them a little bit longer just in case they start to crack. This I think is older actually, and this has some really deep ridges in it. I don't think the camera will pick it up, but it's got some deep ridges, and I just took a knife and just kind of skinned off some of the upper ridge layers, so it kind of made a kind of a cool pattern on it here. It's all jammed into the thing here, so I won't haul it out, but it's kind of neat. Here's a nice little V-shaped. Should make a decent little thumbstick. That's willow actually. And some of these I left the I left the part of the branch on the end here. Round that off at some other point. There's one up here as well. Just leave that on there, and I'll take a bandsaw and just kind of shape it a little bit and round it off, see how it turns out. And then there's another one up here as well. So anyway, yeah, those are my sticks here. I have some up a little bit higher here. They were a little bit bent and crooked, and I had to fasten them down with a clamp. I'm going to dry them like that, see if it straightens them out at all. Quite a bit of cedar up there. As well, I've got some cedar sticks here, and this is really kind of cool. This is red western cedar, and this is a natural bend to this stick. I'm going to make a cane out of it. I don't know exactly the shape I'll end up with or whatever, but it's fairly thick, probably about 1.25 inches on the end there. And it smells so good, this red western cedar. And once it's all finished off, it should be a nice walking stick there as well. And like I said, it's just a great little natural bend there. So, and there's another piece of cedar behind it as well. So there's a lot of cedar growing up here in British Columbia. So anyway, that's my stick collection drying there. I love going out and hunting for sticks, and I guess the big job is yet to come. Even after I debark them, there, shaping them and carving them and sanding and varathaning or whatever, oiling them, finishing them off anyway. So anyway, thanks for watching.